since the beginning of Summer Split.
Welcome everyone to week 1 of the Summer Split.
107 games have been played, 50 competitors, 10 teams. But after this weekend, only 2 remain.
I want to get your quick thoughts on Yuji.
I don't really think anything of him, and he has an LCS support, so we're gonna win.
I think he's not that good, to be honest. Yeah.
And this time, you can be a part of the action too, because the NACL finale will air live from the Riot Games Arena. Mark your calendars and purchase your tickets to be a part of the live studio audience. Not convinced? Let's hear what the community thought of the premiere.
Duffy, you just saw the finals. What would your review be?
That was incredible.
Do you recommend folks at home buy a ticket?
Yes, I recommend they buy 2.
Do you recommend the show?
100%, 1,000%. Actually, I rate this higher than Oppenheimer and Barbie combined.
Maybe Toy Story 3 above it?
Toy Story 3 was really good.
Close to Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Do you recommend people at home come see it?
You need to go see it right now. Right now. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Go, 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 go.
But no spoilers. Don't miss out on the cinematic event of summer. We'll see you there.
Hello, League of Legends enjoyers, and welcome back. To start things off here, first we have our Toro Key Drive. So that was a really fun game that we just got to witness. A couple of moments that we really could have pushed for here. Breezy, you didn't get to cast that one, so I'd love to know your take on this one fight, because this is when Wildcard actually got a chance to start clapping back, and FlyQuest kind of shut him down.
Yeah, Wildcard started the fight off pretty well. They got some good poke on Masu, he got some few W's off, and then this TP cancel was just really huge. I don't think Smudo was looking at his screen. He was like ulting in the team fight and then kind of got distracted. You'll see he ult here, then wasn't looking at his screen, but just very well played by FlyQuest. They got some poke off, and once they got some poke, UG sent it and really swung the game here. And Masu has a really nice ulti on AD here and just one-shots him.
So
I think it's a little bit off camera, but he just one-shots the Philios down there, and then he knows he can carry the rest of the fight.
Yeah, he even got out of that Cinder Scatter, which was huge from Soligo in that. So some nice moments. There was definitely something we saw from FlyQuest when they were going up against Disguise. Yeah, they did drop on that series, but there were a lot of really nice mechanical moments from their team. And seeing some of those there, like even Spyrax going down but buying the time with the Zanyas, you never know what that can find in the back half, Breezy. Let's take a look at the stats. Anything jumping out to you here?
Monster's damage, he stood out, played well, and also just even the fact that Wildcard was able to hang in there despite a little bit of a rough early game. Both carries were pumping on the Wildcard side as well. Lens and Sligo were performing quite well as well. Just a little bit hard to play against enemy comp.
yes, I do have to give kudos to Wildcard, because it kind of looked a little cooked from the start there after the first burn buff that Fly was able to get and the push off of that. But Wildcard held their own for a little bit, so I'm excited to see, of course, going into the best of 3 inner eliminations, if they're able to clap back a little bit to Wildcard, to FlyQuest here. And of course, as we let the players take a little bit of break and get ready, we have a chance to kind of maybe predict on how a couple of things go down here. So we have our Rally Cry halftime show, and Breezy, have you ever had a tarot card reading before?
I have not, but there's a first to everything. I'm ready.
First for everything. This is a super professional one, so you're definitely getting your money's worth off of this one. So for the viewers at home, we're going to have one of the caster analysts ask a question, and the other one is going to interpret. We're going to base it off of the series, what we think will be going on to the future, and stuff like that. So I will, of course, let the guests have the first honors. So Cubby, we'll get you to ask a question first for Breezy to answer.
Ooh, all right. What will Wildcard cook in this next game, Breezy? That's the question. What are they cooking?
This is a good one. You never know what Wildcard's going to cook, right?
Yeah, they got to reach deep.
All right. These are... what do we get? They're also all based off of our emotes. We got a good person to get these cards done.
Alright, so Wildcard here, they're trying to cook up some scaling in the bot lane. Maybe a new champion will come out named Yumi. Haven't seen it in a while, but I think they might target Masu here and ban him out, and bot lane won't know what to do, so they might have to pick Yumi. And then usually at the end of the game, they're going to be a little bit behind. You know, Yumi's scaling's not well, and then he's just going to steal Baron and then just win the game off a final team fight, as FlyQuest does.
Uh-oh.
That's how it's gonna go.
Uh-oh. It ends up Wildcard cooks in FlyQuest's favor. That's tough. That's tough.
Wildcard cooking a little too close to the sun.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that's happened before, but
True, true. All right. Now, Breezy, you get to ask Mr. Cubby there, Cubby 1.0, I guess, a question.
Oh, wait, 1.0? Question mark?
Ah.
hey, there's only one original, you know.
My question is, I don't know the sides right now, but I'm gonna assume they're gonna swap sides. I'm gonna say, what is Zamudo gonna play here in game 5, or on red side? Sorry, in game 2. What's he cooking up on red side?
A lot of cooking over here. On one side in particular. I wonder why. All right.
Checkmate wave. Oh my. Well, okay, that looks like a Zeri. It's a checkmate.
I also, real
Ooh.
quick, I have word that Wildcard chose blue side.
Ooh, same
Oh.
side. So more blinds for Zamudo. That
Or
does
blind
narrow
side?
things
I'll
up.
change it. What's he gonna blind then?
That does change things up. I mean, I feel like the checkmate's gonna be the Cassante ban. Just be like, we're gonna deny this champion from you. So, you know, checkmate. Like, what do you play now? What's Zamudo cook? The wave? You know what? Just Ornn. That's like the high. I'm just gonna play Ornn. It's fine. It's one of his most played. I feel like it could be an Ornn comp coming out Breezy. They like to run some Ornn Zyra Rakan over here in the wildcard camp. I can definitely see that being a strat the next game. Just try and match the teamfight of FlyQuest. I feel like teamfighting against FlyQuest is not the way I'd approach them as a team. They're really tough to beat in that aspect, but I expect that to be the case for Wildcard.
Yeah, big thing for a wild card across the season is they've been pretty strong team fighters. They shine in the team fights, but I felt like in this game they didn't have a great team fight comp. So I hope they switch things up and like are a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
I do actually want to like praise the Poppy pick too. I feel like Poppy, like it's so tough to fight in the Poppy. If you're gonna play team fight, like Poppy just gives you so many tools between like the W, the E, and then the R. So that might be a pick that we see taken away from FlyQuest as well.
Yeah, I think Poppy is a pretty standard blue side ban, so I hope they pick that up and drop something else.
Right, moving away from the champ select for a little bit, I'm going to ask both of you a question, one for each team, and get your interpretation on it. So, besides differences in the draft and anything, what do you think is going to be the key moment for the team looking for the win in this next one? Breezy, do you want to answer this about Wildcard or FlyQuest?
Wild card.
All right, so the key moment in this match to bring Wildcard to victory, minus anything with their champ select.
Hug. Alright. For Hug, I'm gonna say Wildcard, they're mid jungle, they've gotta hug each other, they've gotta do everything all game together. I think if they can really play through mid jungle well, they'll do well. And for Pog, I think yeah, they get through the early game well and they're gonna make everyone go Pog in the team fights.
I feel like the hug just might be more Yumi, you know, which I hate to see.
It is some more Yumi.
Stop with the Yumi guy. We don't want Yumi out here, alright?
That one's yours though. You're hugging the cats.
Okay.
My cat's cuter than Yumi. Somehow more disastrous, which I don't know how that could be, but like, you know, there's a reason
Impossible challenge.
There's a reason they're locked out of this room right now. That's all I'll say. But all right. We're putting Yumi behind us, Cubby. But now you have to answer the key moment for FlyQuest in this game 2 for them to be moving along the lower bracket in 2. All right? And these are your cards.
Noted and cheer.
You want me to add a third card for you?
Yeah, you know what? Throw it in there.
We're gonna
We'll see what we can do. I mean, this is a great tarot reading. You know, I have a lot more control over this than most. Usually, it doesn't go this way. A back door. Oh no. All right. I feel like what's gonna happen is at FlyQuest, they're just gonna start cheering themselves on because they're gonna be doing very well. And as long as they take note of the potential back door, it's gonna be fine. Because honestly, that game looks really controlled coming out of FlyQuest. Breezy and I were talking in the break about how well that early game went for them. It felt like it was just a manufactured 2-3k gold lead, even in Dragons in a comp that you highlighted, Breezy, like, hey, if you're even with this comp going into the back half of the game, you're going to be in really good shape. So that is something that I found really interesting in that one. And honestly, something that I feel like Wildcard is going to have to break. And you were kind of thinking about red side Breezy in that next game just because Wildcard felt like they didn't really have the right answers on blue, right?
Yeah, I just thought like Zamudo is just like it's his time to shine on red side. He gets his counter pick, you know, but blue side has across the world just been like considered the stronger side, so maybe they're just comfortable on that side and just we'll switch things up a little bit.
All right. Now, since this is elimination for the teams, we're going to put the tarot cards aside. I want to refocus a little bit on this matchup ahead of us. Not just interpretation, but what we actually think Wildcard has to be doing in this next game to bring this into a game 3. Breezy, I'm going to put you on a spot a little bit because I know you know what's up with these teams. What do you think is the biggest thing that they do need to be swapping up to try and have a chance here?
Like Cubby said earlier, maybe Zamudo on Ornn and more standard like front to back comp. Bot lane Zyra Khan is pretty strong for them, and maybe jungle on like Sejuani, Maokai, something like that. Like Viego he's playing well on Viego as well, but it's a little bit more pressure to do something early game. But I think if they're like more relaxed, play a little bit more scaling, like they'll shine.
All right, and then Cubby with the road laid out for Wildcard to take us into a game 3. Do we think that they can, or is FlyQuest just a little too on the ball today?
I think FlyQuest looks too good. That series against Disguise was the most competitive series that we've seen so far, and FlyQuest really making it look like they are a step above from that game 1. So I think that we're going to have to see a couple of curveballs come out from Wildcard here, which, to be fair, they're great at doing. That's really what has given them success this year. So up to Wildcard to see if they are up to the challenge of taking down a team that looks very strong to me right now.
Let's see if they are up for the challenge as our draft is ready, and I'm going to send you guys away for what should be a... All right, those were terrible cards to pull for this game. What should hopefully be a fantastic game here and hopefully get us into a game 3. Enjoy the draft, guys. I'll see you later.
We had the smack there. I saw the smack emote, and then a lot of missing pings. I don't know how that's going to factor in.
Hey,
but I'm back, everybody. How was the tarot card reading?
It was nice.
It was fun. It was fun.
It was nice. We threw out things that will 100% come true because of the power of tarot cards coming up here.
100%.
Exactly. Power predictive thinking from 2 of the biggest brains that I've had on the broadcast with. So, it's gonna be a fun time. I heard a couple things mentioned from Pick and Ban specifically. Breezy, things you were talking about was banning away the Poppy. And maybe Wildcard need to look at doing that. And then also, did I hear correctly, pivoting the top lane shampoo? Was that what you were getting at?
Yeah, just more like a front to back champ, more scaling. It's a little bit hard to like, maybe a tank, something like that. It's a little bit hard to blind like his hyper carry 1v9 champs like this on blue side. Sure. So we'll see what he goes with.
The opposite of the win condition I had identified for them, but often it's because they're on red side where Zamudo can get that counter pick. Yeah, it's important that you're highlighting that because they're blue side, they will not be able to guarantee the counter pick for Zamudo. Does change things up. So, Cubby, you're noticing the bans. Anything standing out to you here?
Yeah, I was thinking that there could be a gambit that Wildcard pull where they ban Poppy on 3 and then take Sejuani for themselves. But so far, things are mirrored. And frankly, I think the adaptation comes with maybe Zyra Khan and putting that Rel into the jungle here, Breezy. That could be one of the options. And also for Wildcard, Sligo hasn't really played Kai'Sa. So I think giving, like, it's really tough to first pick Kai'Sa. I feel like a lot of teams have found answers into it in the early game. But giving it away, we know that it's likely to be in the hands of Masu, but Spyrox can play it too. So I'm a little bit surprised they didn't just take that away instead of the Sejuani that we've seen banned out.
Same picks. Back to back here, Breezy. Whew.
Really hope they switch it up here. Maybe take away the Azir, go Zyra Khan like we said earlier. I think something needs to change a bit.
I think Azir
so if you go Zyra Khan, then you're showing the support in the jungle. You no longer holding that flex pick as opposed to what they had done last time around where they're locking in AD carry and then
same exact thing.
Earlier Gangplank. Earlier Gangplank. So 3 of the same champions. They're holding that flex now, so they could pivot the Rel, but they are still showing a early top laner.
In a way, this is an okay gambit here, Breezy, because it does say, like, hey, you either lose K'Sante or you're going to lose Azir moving forward. Do you like that?
True. I like it, honestly. I think it goes to show that, like, I guess Zamudo's favorite blind pick champ is GP, and I think he thought it might get banned, so he just took it away early.
Ooh, we're getting the Faisal special, baby. It's not K'Sante. He's going Olaf.
I'm looking at Gangplank and Rel, and if I'm Olaf, I absolutely love my life right now.
Yep. And a reminder that this was banned against Cincinnati if you're often in spring because of Faisal's ability to pilot this. Still sometimes gets bans thrown his way. Maybe Wildcard weren't doing all their homework. Keel, I know Keel's played with it. Breezy, have you ever played against Faisal's Olaf?
There's been a lot of Olaf players in NACL. I want to say we did.
Okay,
but
I don't know if
also
Zamudo
blend
has
it.
yet. I don't think he. Keel,
Yeah.
Saligo, Lens would have been around for it. I'm not sure if Dombre Zamudo experienced it.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be interesting.
Oh, I just downed the rest of my coffee because I think I'm gonna need the energy for this one. And honestly, I'm gonna try and send some of that energy Wildcard's way because again, if I'm Olaf right now, I love my life, and the two bans that FlyQuest have thrown at Keel are ones that are really tough into Olaf. I love the Trundle ban. Trundle would feel great into Olaf plus Poppy. So we haven't seen Keel play that, but I think that's good identification out of FlyQuest saying, hey, this champ's really good into what we're showing right now. Let's take it away.
I really hope to see an Azir ban here for a wild card. Wow.
Not an Azir ban.
Not an Azir ban.
Would they play it themselves, potentially? It's such an awkward spot because, yeah, FlyQuest don't need to show mid lane. They're going to get counterpick top lane and counterpick mid lane.
I mean, that rel is still technically flexible, but, like, Rom doesn't bring a lot of value into Olaf.
Yeah.
So we will see that rel still put, and it's going to be the same exact comp for Wildcard.
Wow.
It's really tough to face check brushes, as we saw in the last one. So I think that the one thing I learned from Wildcard's comp in the last game, Breezy, was that it's really important that they actually try and get ahead early. Because if they lose control of their jungle, you're face checking a Poppy Nautilus Olaf with nothing good to walk in.
Yeah.
There's
the Azir.
Okay. All right, who are we favoring here, Breezy? Maybe give marks for Wildcard. They didn't pivot anything. Are you still at least happy with the comp that they have into what FlyQuest have?
Yeah, I think they'll switch up their game plan a little bit. I think Zamudo will need a little bit of help early, so I hope Keel helps him out a little bit in the early game. And I think Zamudo will be able to take off this game if he gets like the correct resources and protection he needs early game. But I think FlyQuest is pretty comfortable with this draft as well.
Yeah, I know, Cubby, you were mentioning the comfort of FlyQuest last draft. I think that the same thing can be said for this one, too.
I'm going to go with green means go. Red means I'm not as big of a fan for Wildcard. I know it's very simple analysis here, Breezy, but it's kind of how I'm feeling about
It's just the team colors. I thought you meant you were gonna do like a bit or something.
No,
with, like signs.
No,
right.
I wish I was in a green sweater right now. Is what I'm saying. You know.
Yeah. You're gonna change after this game to really support FlyQuest Challengers. Truly, thank you so much, Breezy, for coming on for Pick and Ban, giving your analysis from a player perspective. Always happy to hear your thoughts on what the players are choosing to play, because Wildcard are bringing it back to the same draft from Game 1. It did not go well for them then. Maybe they can turn it around this time, because FlyQuest Challengers are one game away from advancing in the lower bracket and one win away from sending Wildcard home.
They're one axe away from getting sums out of Lens here, as I saw cruising towards the bot lane. Lens will spot it out, poking his head out of the brush. That's a nice note in solo queue, guys. If you're not going up against like Rakan or else someone can get over that wall, please walk out of that brush early. You can save your flash moving forward.
Exactly.
As Keel is going to give Spyrax
for their own little invade here, as Keel gets a ward down. Trades slightly with Spyrax, nothing too dire though. Let's catch up on some of the choices for runes, summoner spells, etc. Because Faisal, we've seen a couple different Olaf choices. He is going for the Ghost and the Teleport.
Makes sense to me, because that early reset could be big for Faisal. Just making sure that he can continue the pressure on Zamudo. And Zamudo not going for his first strike this game, realizing that this is going to be a much harder lane against the Olaf, will actually be going for a Doran's Blade, Grasp, and a TP. So I think Zamudo's trying to get these first 3 waves in.
Yeah, I think so. He's much more defensive of a build this time around. FlyQuest, though, get an early dredge line here onto Donbray, so he's going to be starting this lane off kind of rough.
While we're early into the game, though, we do have some words from Spyrax going into Wildcard for this game.
I feel like we're all like pretty talkative and like everyone's like really familiar with each other. We don't, I think as of like recently, we don't do like too many like team activities because there's not a lot of time left to the season. Only like 2 weeks at most, kind of, or maybe a bit more than 2 weeks, but still, it's like it's just more worth it to like give it your all during these times.
Give it your all during these times. You heard it from him himself. Back onto the Azir. Winston will land
Oh,
another
look at
dredge
Keel.
line. So bot lane going really well for FlyQuest. First blood to Winsome. Faisal in trouble, doesn't have that flash, cannot get over the wall, so he will fall too. Kills across the board.
Heel went for a 2-camp top, so Breezy called that out again. Same draft, likely to be different strats coming out. That's one way, but the TP is available for Olaf. Zamido's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, Yuji says, well,
He's
now Zamido's trying to get the wave in. Zamido will flash early, dodges the first undertow. Ghost is popped, though, so surely Faisal will get this chase down. Slow lands. Zamido walks away from the next undertow, but there's just no escaping from the Olaf. You can maybe get to Keel to try and turn something around. Faisal will continue to chase in. Now Keel's actually in trouble, realizing, wait a minute, maybe I didn't want this either.
And look at the wave
Faisal
top.
will get a kill.
Go to the wave top. That wave is so doomed for Zamido. He has to TP back, but he's going to lose so much from that wave. Faisal gets to pick all of this up. So even despite the early pressure, if Faisal is able to be okay on this base, he's going to be very far ahead into the gangplank, given all the gold experience that he's going to pick up from that wave, whereas Zamido, it was denied as he was running away from Yuji. So even that adaptation from Wildcard, I like the idea from Keel. But Zamido wasn't able to get the wave in. Yuji responds, even going to deny some camps from Keel now, and it's still FlyQuest who are ahead.
Yeah, it's some of those moments where you get the play yourself, you're so excited after the play, but then you don't track, you don't drop that ward in the tri-brush, you don't know that Yuji's around too. So Ligo's trading so heavily against Spyrax here, opting to not hit minions. I've seen a couple go down while he's doing it, and now Zamido's in even more trouble. He teleported top, doesn't have flash, will land a barrel onto Faisal, but Yuji has flash, can chase this one down. Gets the red buff on him, undertow lands. Zamido's life is going from bad to worse. This gangplank is in the dirt.
Well, we said if Faisal can survive this base, he's going to be ahead of the matchup. Why not revisit top? Get him a bonus kill and make sure that this wave gets in for free, as Faisal's Olaf is going to be up big in this series.
You thought the Cassante was flashy last time around and he was able to push a lead. You have not seen Faisal's Olaf. This guy, when he gets this champ accelerated, he will run away with the game. Let's see what this first back picks him up. Nothing too crazy, but look at the differential in items already. I mean, 9 CS to 23, along with 2 kills worth of gold. Faisal is off to the races.
And 2 levels. Faisal's level 5. Zamido just ding level 4. He was able to actually hold this wave. That's big. So Zamido will catch up a wee bit, but still, Faisal in great shape here, as this was one of the change-ups in draft for FlyQuest. Faisal wanting this matchup into the gangplank, and has made great use of it.
Struggling a little bit here. I think Zamido's feeling the pressure right now. Hopefully he's able to turn things around in this lane or later in the game. Zamido has been making a reputation for himself as a top laner that can show up big in these impactful moments. And now Keel is paying a visit to Faisal, who sees the miss with the ward, but will look to take a kill on Zamido before he goes down. One more undertow and he can have it, but does not. Keel picking up a kill for the team.
I gotta say, top lane 2v2 war was not what I was expecting when we were coming into the series today, but that seems to be what each of these teams are opting for. Keel, very important. He was able to get up and help Zamido in the top lane. That saves his lane, as Lens has to cleanse out passive
Cleanse
proc.
early. They still want this, though. He's ticking down to ignite. Beautiful from Winsome there. He threw out the dredge line while the minion was up, and they're just committing to a flashing under turret. Winsome will tank it up and should go down here. One more shot. That is a kill to Donbray, but Masu got the kill credit for himself.
Still gets a solo plate, so strategic death from Winston to get more gold into his marksman, right? That's always key. So Masu gets a plus 175. FlyQuest get a plus 1 Cloud Dragon to their name, as Donbray going to try and cancel, but he dies.
I don't think you want this smoke, buddy. I don't know about that one. Flash from Masu will clean up a solo kill gifted to him.
Well, it's a tough start for Wildcard, Kangas. I don't really know where to go from here, man. That's oh boy, it's getting worse.
This time around, we saw the same setup in game 1. As Cubby's struggling to know where to go. FlyQuest know exactly where they want to go. Wildcard have a similar idea, though. Winsome channeling the Hex Splash. Now we have a 2v2 that Wildcard was not ready for. All pops the ultimate, gets a double kill! Faisal is just insane and is unstoppable this game.
A little help from Winsome helps Faisal win some more in the top lane as he finds the double kill. Zamido is still going to be very far behind in this matchup, as look at all the creeps that are dying to the Olaf and to the turret, as now both side lanes are winning for FlyQuest. And you gotta imagine Soligo has to be the hero of this game. Now, I think he's been playing the Cinder really well in this series. It has been things collapsing around him, as we are seeing at the moment. Soligo, any hopes of winning here for Wildcard have to be on the back of Soligo, one of the more experienced members of this team, someone that we feel like has played well this split and could be the difference maker in this series coming in. Spyrex has been very strong in playoffs and of late. If you only saw his one LCS game, that's not an assessment of what Spyrex has been able to do in this league, Kangas. Soligo, we felt like he might be able to neutralize and help carry team fights for Wildcard later. He has to step up here because this map is a doomsday scenario for Wildcard.
And mental resiliency is the name of the game for Wildcard. You know, we saw in game 1 they didn't give up. They never quit. But in game states like this, mental, the edge, the pressure, eliminations on the line, you got to stay in it and keep thinking about the next play. Right now, the next play is Herald. They sent 5 members to guarantee that they get this objective.
Zimino can ult that bot wave if he so chooses, so honestly, it's not that bad for Wildcard. Zimino has nothing to do on the map right now, so we'll take out this wave for himself as he gets 2 creeps from it. Lens and Donbray have swapped into the Olaf as the Gangplank can no longer go into the Olaf, which,
nope.
Yeah, that's a problem. So they will just be funneling Lens, who is on red-white, so honestly, things for Wildcard, this is a really good recovery on the map from them. Yes, Zimino is getting further starved out, but first tower could be a threat for Wildcard, and FlyQuest do not want to give this over.
Look at FlyQuest. There's 4 members coming up here through the river. Wildcard will not crack the turret, and now they're getting engaged on. Yuji just jumps onto Lens. He was meant to be the hero, but he's just the target. Winston with a kill credit. Faisal gets a 5th kill of the game, and Wildcard's game is, again, just falling apart right now. Maybe they can get Masu, though, who somehow finds himself deep in enemy territory. He's going to go in on the Zamudo, but Flash from Gangplank will keep him alive.
Yeah, a little bit of proxy farming from Masu while 4 is showing top. That's definitely trying to go for style points. Zamudo flashing out of the Void Seeker does get him away from the killer instinct that Masu had as he was trying to trade himself out while he was going down. So Soligo does help pressure to get that kill, but the map, again, falling apart here for Wildcard. As FlyQuest, they saved the first tower from going down with the investment they put on the top side, and Wildcard, their bot lane's going straight back up here to answer, and Zimido, he's going to hit the Death Chamber potentially one more time. Okay.
He is running away. Yeah, if Yuji had gone in, I think they kill him,
honestly,
but they didn't have full information.
Drop might be more valuable at this point, you know?
Hey, no, he got the shutdown. He reset the goal.
Oh, true.
Yeah, all right, let's take another look at this, because, yeah, the play was get the turret, but FlyQuest read it.
Lens doesn't react to the Flash E from Yuji. He ends up going into the wall, flashes forward, he falls. Gil gets the dredge line. That's more free food for Faisal. Spyrex even get involved here as well. They feed over the kills to solo lane. That is very clean. FlyQuest Challengers, great rotation, and they, all right, Zimido here. We got the revisit.
Still has a W teleport coming in from Soligo, so that will deter the dive. Sim still hanging around the area, is spotted as well. So that's your teleport out of Soligo to keep Zamudo up.
Dragon spawning at 40 seconds. The map right now really tough for Wildcard. They're pretty much forced to play through bot side as long as Soligo is down here for the Dragon, but he will rotate mid where he has to catch the wave. Enables FlyQuest to reset for free if they so choose before the Dragon. Will not be the case. Soligo will answer mid, but Spyrex stays on the map. And Faisal, we gotta make sure that first brick falls for himself. I feel like that's deserved given what they did in the top lane. And Trinity Force already on the Olaf, which Faisal special.
Kind of terrifying. And the lane setup is really rough. Zamudo just canceled it back 3 times. Donbray gets a big engage, though. Nice. They can take down Masu. Donbray with a shutdown again. Faisal teleported in, has the Ragnarok, has the Ghost. Teleport deep from Spyrex here. FlyQuest look to turn the play. If they can get on the kill, this is big. Maybe they're onto Zamudo instead. Lens can't even get into it. Faisal on a rampage. Teleport was canceled, but they don't even need the backup. Faisal should be enough, but no, Yuji's down. Faisal's down. Winsom's down. Wildcard hold the line, and a double kill to Lens.
It was off screen, but Soligo came up huge there. The reason that FlyQuest Challengers were returning was that Spyrex was TPing in. Off-screen, Soligo was able to cancel that TP with a scatter, so there was no Emperor's Divide from behind. And FlyQuest, they push forward, but once Faisal falls, the damage goes to the wayside, and Wildcard and Lens end up free-firing, coming out with a win. And this has been a ballistic game early, man. There are 20 kills, 12 minutes in, but somehow Wildcard on even footing.
Yeah. How did that happen? I mean, this game felt like FlyQuest were just they were gifted a win.
was
Top lane
over.
going the way it was. Donbray just gifting
Okay.
Masu kills, but then plays like this, that'll get Wildcard back into it.
Masu has no ult, no flash, so great execute from Wildcard to attack the Kai'Sa, who is way too far up. This is the big play. Spyrax, yeah, he ended up TPing at Vision. Sligo steps up, he cancels it, so the turn from FlyQuest, yes, this Olaf is massive, but Ignite's running, Keel finds the execute, and once he falls, Lens was able to free fire, as Fai saw.
I want to 1v1 again, but Keel's here to make it not fair. Oh, it doesn't matter! Faisal might even live through this. No, Keel had the reset. He had the cooldown on the Q, and does trade the kill 1-for-1, but whew, Faisal is still pretty scary.
That axe did go to the wayside, and honestly, an even trade here, as Keel is going to take that top wave for himself. Bot turret will likely fall. Lens does have double buff, so if Yuji and Winsome go too far in, could be an opportunity to punish for Wildcard, but not going to be the case. Masu could follow up with Killer Instinct at any point, so this is all on Vision. But as long as Sligo is not rotating over, as long as Zamido is not here, it's okay. But here comes Cannon Barrage, takes out the wave.
Also chunks Masu just slightly. Keel, meanwhile, is farming because they saw Yuji hovering there that whole time. This gives Keel more room to move around the top half of the map, can take the Raptors, can take the Scuttle Crab, go back to his own farming. FlyQuest still have Yuji in the bot lane around Masu. Now they're going for a reset. Donbray, is he going to take the bait? This feels like bait. Oh, maybe not. FlyQuest aren't actually ready for it. And Winsome misses the dredge line onto the wall. Donbray's just going to try and lock him down, so could be another kill to Wildcard. And Winsome escape. Dredge line forward. Donbray cannot lock him down that long. He will survive, but a bit of an oopsie from FlyQuest bot lane.
Lens should be able to pressure this turret, but Yuji's here. I don't know if they can take it. And while all this is going on, Zamido did show bot. Again, Zamido really cannot be in this lane on his own, so Zamido is trying to just kind of leave lane, flip a coin, and see if he can find anything elsewhere. Not going to be the case on the bot side. As Faisal cleans up the rest of that turret on his own, and now Zamido down 2 levels. 2 are gangplanks, so you can't wave clear.
Looking to even chase down a little bit. Bold move from Zamido. I guess he does have Donbray in his back pocket, so Faisal respecting that fact, saying I don't have a lot of backup near me. Yuji's taking the Scuttle Crab. Herald is the name of the game now. And a lot of that gold lead. I guess I can just say all that gold lead. There's not even much. It's only 300 in the favor of FlyQuest, but it is Faisal. It is playing around this Olaf right now, who just picked up Death's Dance at 15 minutes into the game. So 2-item Olaf, pretty big spike. Let's see how FlyQuest wants to play around him.
I know that I was really, singing the praises of Sligo and how he could step up, but the player that has really stepped up and who was that most valuable prospect nod we gave over was Keel, has the most gold. Looks like he's going for the Bork second on Viego. Is Donbray going to get dredge lined in, able to sneak on away, but second Herald is being hit by FlyQuest Challengers, is looking to continue that streak of securing neutrals, but probably to have on the map at the moment. Olaf did walk up for this one, so we go get some free time on the bot side, but Olaf should be able to catch, and another free objective going over to FlyQuest Challengers.
Uncontested. Wildcard giving that one up and instead getting that prio elsewhere, as they should at least get a turret. And honestly, just pushing Faisal away. Okay, Spyrax going for an all-in onto Zamudo. Should have this 1v1. Zamudo does flash away. Spyrax getting those autos in. The barrels from Zamudo could be big here. Oh, Spyrax autos it. Actually, out-times Zamudo. Gets the outplay 1v1. Now will fall here shortly to Lens and Donbray, but still pretty fancy stuff coming in from Spyrax. Oh, Faisal now sees Sligo all alone here.
Oh boy.
Ghost Ragnarok pops, Sligo flashes, and that will save his life. Might even get even more as Keel's joining in now. Ragnarok's expired, and Sligo will find the kill.
Very clutch by Sligo to hold onto the scatter. Preemptive flash to get out of the undertow. Ends up turning that on Faisal, who pushes his lead a bit too much, and now it was a 2.5k gold lead and what looked like a done and dusted game for FlyQuest early on, Kankus. It's now a 1k gold lead for Wildcard. Somehow, they've turned this on their head again. Keel said, hey, we proved as a team that we have resiliency. And facing elimination, facing a dire early game, Wildcard has hung on to that resiliency and actually have a gold lead themselves somehow here, Kankus.
I know this is something you've probably heard me say, Cubby, because this is one of my favorite minigames to play in League of Legends. It's called the Watch This minigame. I think FlyQuest challengers are subscribing to that. They just keep saying, hey, watch this. I'm going to do something cool. And then they get punished for it. And they're giving away this lead now to Wildcard, who are gladly taking it. And also props to Wildcard. You highlighted Keel. He's always on the right side of the map for when FlyQuest are being over-aggressive and punishing them heavily. FlyQuest are not out of this by any stretch, but they no longer have that giant gold lead buffer. You see it was a kind of steady decrease. A couple of plays here, a couple of plays there. Now it's Wildcard, not only with the slight gold lead, but also control over the Dragon.
FlySol does have that powered teleport. Good join on the bot side with Spyrax if they so choose.
I don't think it'll be in time to stop the Dragon, and they don't even pull the trigger. So FlyQuest's easy Dragon stacking has also been thwarted. That would have been their sole point. Wildcard deny it.
Slowing the game down, though. Okay for FlyQuest. They are just leaning on their 3 lanes. Of course, that Olaf still very strong. Nicely.
Here, they can actually get on top of the carries. Yuji's just down. That is not a very tanky Poppy, and this is not game 1, FlyQuest. You cannot just claim ownership of the enemy jungle. They will claim 2 kills for themselves. Poor Masu's caught out now. Has flash available, will hold it, but falls to Wildcard pick up 3.
While all the things have been hectic on the map, Keel has been holding strong. That Bork Viego second. Look at how fed Keel is compared to his counterpart in Yuji. So yeah, FlySol the lead, but now it's going to the weak side. Now a TP coming in. That's going to be Spyrax mid.
Flank. They're going to look at Lens. He has flash available. Nongre playing goalie right now. Now they jump out of FlySol. Teleport coming in as well. Spyrax cannot keep his top laner alive. The solo laners are just not strong enough from FlyQuest Challengers to take a 2v4. Now it does scoop in Don Brace. Actually, that's Keel right there. That's actually bigger. The jungler goes down. Maybe this is some momentum FlyQuest can play with. Don Brace here, though, and Lens is scary.
Yeah, all right. Well, this game's gone a little bit hectic here, Kangas. I will say, Wildcard, props to them. Like, by making things haywire, they've actually been able to claw their way back into the game. But FlyQuest, I'd say that FlySol pushing a bit too hard again, as him going in there with Spyrax. That was a play that was not winning. A great answer on the TP from Soligo. Now, the one positive for FlyQuest, no TPs are up right now for Wildcard. And if FlySol stays in a side lane, it's still winning for FlyQuest. So I want to see FlyQuest try to utilize FlySol on the bot side, open up some space around Baron, because he actually has an empowered TP on his own, which he uses bot when Baron's... I don't like that.
Yeah, this means that he will not be able to answer Wildcard. I mean, if you're Zamudo, right now you're pinging to the team. Try and get the priority around there. I'll have my ultimate. He won't have his teleport, but he can still interact. Let's get another replay here first.
Keel's up 2 levels, and they just focus fire down Yuji. You can see the strength of the Rel, all the lockdown she brings, especially when she casts that ultimate. That stack was too much to deal with. Keel plays this wonderfully as the W flash even is able to catch out Masu. Tried to kill her instinct over the wall. Not quite able to get over that one. Pulls onto the flash, goes down. Keel keeps on farming. Keel is very fed in this game, Kangas, and I think a lot of this game is going to be about the space that Soligo and Donbray can buy for Keel. Let's see if he can get those resets.
Reset City is the name of the game for Wildcard. Zamudo also with the barrels. I know he's behind, but barrels can be a great tool to set up a Viego. Just get that big burst of damage, get that big Syndra poke. Pretty long range. 2 great champions for the Viego to then look to pop off. It seemed like the game plan in game number 1, they weren't able to execute it then. Surprisingly, when they were at a bigger deficit in game 2, they've held the line. I think a lot of that still is FlyQuest playing a little over-eager on some of their own plays. So I echo your sentiment of calm it down a little bit. Play to Faisal in the side lane. You don't have to look for these big skirmishes when you have the Olaf who can just create free pressure for you.
You can see Faisal keeping Zuno rather far back in the bot lane. Still does have that lead, but the fact that Zuno is actually, was able to hit 2 items in this game, a bit of a miracle. As you highlighted earlier, FlyQuest kind of playing a little bit of Watch This League of Legends early on. As someone that oftentimes queues with you and Rafa, I very much understand Watch This League of Legends.
Well, usually with us, it's a competition of who can do the cooler things.
Who can imp the hardest, yes.
Well, I mean, tomato. Wildcard right now, though, I think I don't know who they are in this situation. I guess just whoever me and Rafa usually play against, because they've been catching these plays left and right now they're going for one of their own. Next flash from Dombraid. They have control over the Baron pit in terms of just raw vision. They don't have control of the side lanes, though. I do want to see somebody catch that top wave. Okay, never mind.
Actually,
We're just right on Baron.
You're gonna
teleport. Oh, we are full send.
Oh, wow, this is a TP in. FlyQuest are aware of this. Spyrax has a really good angle at the moment. I think this is very dangerous for Wildcard to burn, but they're going to try and burn it.
Watch the Azir flank the engage angle. They're off of the Baron now. Dombre goes for the engage to jump out of Winsome. That's Winsome down. Faisal's joined in, but they've already lost their support. They're going to lose Yuji. The resets for Keel are massive. Double kill to Viego, and Wildcard played that pretty well. Keel off at the same time. Now they catch Spyrax all alone here. Keel almost kills the Azir. There is not a lot of hope for FlyQuest now.
Spyrax has an empowered TP to get back, so Keel almost taking down the Viego, or the Azir as the Viego. I like the risk, but the fact that he wasn't able to get them down now means he can TP back at
He gets on the Sligo! Masu lands the Void Seeker. Now Faisal takes down Zamudo. No shot that FlyQuest actually win this in a 2v5. The bot lane and top lane will step up. That is a Baron. That is resets for Keel, but only he will walk away with the buff.
What is this game, man? The first game was so controlled by FlyQuest, and now everyone's just kind of taking the gloves off, throwing haymakers. As only Keel has the Baron buff, he's stuck it, man. There was a fight going on. Lens was taking a 1v2. Keel's like, take the damn neutral. We got to get this off the map.
Please.
Take
this was the first turn here.
Yeah. It's a great turn by Donbray, and that engage, given that Wildcard's ahead, it gets Keel the first kill. He gets a double reset, and I love this play from Keel. If he gets one more auto on the Spyrax, that's great. He goes over the wall, hits Spyrax back, just barely misses the buffer on the Emperor's Divide, so Spyrax was able to get out, and now he could TP back full health. While that's going on, Masu finds a great execute on the Sligo, who was hiding over the wall. Masu baits out the scatter, takes him down after. Faisal, only thing saving Wildcard this fight, honestly, that Zanya's from Donbray, it got Faisal out of his ultimate, so then Lens could walk up and DPS, and Keel's like, nope, we're gonna hit the worm.
Yep, Spyrax does show up to at least take down Lens, but that is a Turo Baron buff to Wildcard regardless. They get the gold, they get the buff onto Keel, the jungler. And look at the damage numbers right there. FlyQuest, they did it as 3, but now they're catching out somebody here. They just got Zamudo in their own jungle. Wildcard a little sloppy on the side, but no! They flashed. Saligo carried the depth charge deeper into the rest of the team. Now he should go down here. Faisal will chase. Dombray's now the new target, but Spyrax once more. That's 3 picked off for Wildcard. Masu will clean up Donbray here, and they're just gifted their own play. Doing a little bit of toss back and forward right now, but FlyQuest says, hey, watch this. And they want to get on the Wildcard this time around. I think Lens should be good here. Oh, never mind. Yuji will chase in onto the minions, headbutts in. That's a dead Lens. Keel will look to try and save him, gets 1 reset. Can he do this? There's a big health bars. That is an Olaf. Ragnarok used. Keel just trying to buy time so that the game doesn't end right here. And he's doing a good effort, but will fall.
You know, there's a reason that we put NRG versus TL on a weekday and then this on a weekend. I feel like that's the answer that I've got now, Kangas. We're just throwing down 45 kills in 25 minutes. That was a big misplay from Wildcard, as they're really strong when they can start taking fights on their own accord and get Viego that first reset. But you can see what happens when FlyQuest starts to fight on their own. It's not a good setup for Wildcard. Viego was never able to pick a target to CC down and take the body of, whereas Zamudo was picked off first. Space wasn't able to be bought by Wildcard. They get chased down, and now FlyQuest, they get the gold lead back in their hands.
I don't even know what to think at this point. I think everybody in chat, just flip a coin, really. Like, analysis out the window. These teams are just throwing it at each other.
This is scrim culture. Saligo's like the only one trying to play a normal game right now. He's like 1-2-2, and everyone else is just fist fighting whenever they see a champion.
Yeah.
It's led to a rather wacky game state. I will say, taking accounts of the inventories that we have, eyes onto Spyrax has that completed death cap plus a stopwatch to his name. Whereas for Wildcard, I feel like everything comes down to Lens, and if he can DPS in these fights, he's gotten very far ahead. And the space that a Syndra and Gangplank can buy can be significant for Nefelios.
Ooh, win some Perpetual Lines in Donbray. Masu's getting some good poke to start off. That's a depth charge committed. The rest of the team wasn't quite there to follow up, so they will not have the Nautilus ultimate, but Donbray is half health, makes it much harder for the Rel to go for their own engage. Oh, even harder now.
I feel like Rel has to go for their own base, as Zamudo finds a decent chunk onto Faisal. Eats a Void Seeker in return, as Masu... you can see FlyQuest, you know, they slowed things down a wee bit. They're like, all right, guys, this has gotten way too out of control. We've got a Ludens on Kai'Sa, which just leaned on that poke. And while all the hecticness has been going on across the map, look at that CS differential that Masu has opened up over Thens. Thens having to fight as Wildcard have been grouped. Masu playing a couple more side lanes. It's really paying off now as the siege is deadly in favor of FlyQuest.
Oh, Lens is just taking poke after poke here. Donbray never even backed. Oh, that Void Seeker was closer than Comfort. And Wildcard will have to cede their control in a small amount that they even thought they could have. Zamudo takes another Void Seeker, undertow used. Dredgeline misses from Winsome. Now FlyQuest will be in trouble. That's a big engage from Donbray to start things off. That's actually massive Moonlight Vigil. Lens taking the kill onto Winsome. Splash with their shuffle to maybe just save the play. Keel can get the resets. Keel can carry this fight. Yuji's down. It's all up to Masu. Flashes away. Tried to outplay, but Keel's got him. Wildcard hold the line yet again.
What an engage from Donbray sets up Keel to knock down the pins of FlyQuest Challengers as Wildcard. They keep that inhibitor alive and keep the 2 kills a minute pace going, which is really what's important in this one. Dredgeline goes wide. It's good scatter from Sligo. Instantly followed up upon by Donbray. Finds a huge row combo. Moonlight Vigil on top. Easy fight as the stopwatches are too late from FlyQuest. Yes, Spyrax tries to turn it. That's a flash he's not going to have for the next one. And as long as these summoner spells stay down, it's deadly for Wildcard. If Heel, again, is able to start off these fights with a reset, I feel like it's really coming down to Donbray and Sligo's set up around this Viego. If he is able to get a good start to the fight, that's how Wildcard can win these. And that is enough for Wildcard to try and take the 3rd dragon on their own. That's significant. I think Mountain Dragon's very strong individually, especially for a Viego team looking to find resets. Taking those away from FlyQuest and into your own pockets. Great for Keel, who even has that luxury item in the GA now, Kangas. So Keel is just huge on this Viego.
Yeah, but FlyQuest currently, they said we cannot contest the Dragon. We're on the Baron instead, at least holding the choke point. They can't pressure it, though. Wildcard get the Dragon, and now they can look to answer. Watch for the flank from Faisal. How's this going to break out?
Faisal not spotted. Oh,
My
that's
Brad, big scatter of the week yet again from Saligo. Donbray over the top. We've seen this one twice now. Masu does survive this time, but the same cannot be said for Winsome. On a rampage goes Keel, and Wildcard still want to go forward. Keel doesn't have the backup of the team, though. Faisal does block him off from everyone else. Yuji gets away. Only Winsome goes down at the end of the day, but that should be enough for Wildcard to claim this Baron.
Yeah, they chunked Masu, and Masu doesn't have TP, so that's going to be a free Baron going over to Wildcard.
Wildcard with a Turo Baron buff. Say, we are not done yet. Early game be damned. We will find ways to come back, and we are not ready to say goodbye to the NACL. One loss, and they would have been going home. This is looking like a win here, Cubby. I think Wildcard have held out long enough. They have the items. They have the big buff to close this one.
And man, when it's mattered most, Keel, some of that Sligo credit is being really the captain of this team behind the scenes. Just slamming this Viego, the same comp. They changed up their strat a little bit. It was going haywire in favor of FlyQuest Challengers, but FlyQuest Challengers unfortunately getting some flashbacks from Spring when they got knocked out by Cincinnati Fear Game 1. They threw a 16k gold lead. This time around, I think throwing like a 6k gold lead in the lower bracket, these are not the mistakes you can afford to be making as Wildcard looking to send this to a Game 3, and Keel has stepped up. He has been massive, participating in 20 out of the 27 kills that are on the map. Has
50.
Yeah,
3 kills.
Him and also Donbray. Donbray's kind of struggled in these playoffs, but Donbray, his row engages have really been what has set up Keel for this success.
And I want to set him up even more. He's got the Zonias. So Donbray's going to look for that big engage, absorb all the cooldowns, press the go invisible, or rather go invincible button, and FlyQuest are going to have to find a way to absorb that, along with the GA that Keel is still packing. This game is going to be really tough for FlyQuest. Let's see if they can hold it. Wildcard have started the siege with their own Baron buff. Looking at the first, inhibitor turret. They will claim that one. There's the engage from Donbray onto 2 tanky members, but they just not tanky at all! It was their front line to start the fight. Masu goes deep. Masu's on the lens. Can Masu make it happen? Gets the double kill. Will not find the triple, and Wildcard will take the fight.
Hold on. All right, we're going to trade GAs. Oldoff should run out of ultimate. We'll see how much Wildcard can get in the back half, as that will be the ace completed. A quadra kill for Lens even, Kangas.
I've lost the feed, Cubby. You're going to have to keep going on your own. Oh, never mind. We're back. All right,
Yeah,
boom.
inhibitor taken.
Okay, Wildcard, it was a little dicey, but they do close it out. Rough time for the Stunner, but Wildcard are not worried about that. They're going to cement themselves a Game 3 in this series after an insane comeback performance against FlyQuest.
How the hell did we get here, man? That was 61 kills. That's the most kills we had in any game in Challengers League this season. Said the early game for Wildcard. They should have been out of this. This should be Game 2. We're talking about, FlyQuest moving on. But somehow Wildcard, they found like Faisal really pushing up too far multiple times inside lanes. They took the Olaf out of the game, and they just grouped, played around these big rel engages, the upfront damage. You can see when this comp got online, how easy it was for Keel to get that first reset and actually run the fights from their Kings.
Keel had an incredible performance on the Viego in a set of circumstances that you cannot ask somebody to step up more than he was able to do in that Game 2, which means we got a Game 3 on the horizon here, and if it's anything like that last one, we're all in for a treat. Grab your water, grab your snacks now. We'll be back with our halftime show right after this, and Game 3 on the horizon.